Okay, and we're back. Fortunately, it didn't work. I tried several minutes, tried tinkering with the GoPro, and for some reason, again, it didn't want to connect. It just, 'cause I tried to use my cell phone as a hotspot or the Wi-Fi signal in order to connect the GoPro, but it just did not want to connect. Unfortunately, it did work last night. It worked last night when I was doing a test run in my hotel room, but today, just I don't know, didn't want to work. See a little teeny tiny plane over there flying in the background. Well, it looks teeny tiny from the screen, but yeah, it's out there. Give you a wide angle view of the harbor. Oh, hi, Bounty. Yes, I'm back. Yeah, I had to like test my camera out because I wanted to use my GoPro camera, but unfortunately, it was not connecting to my phone's Wi-Fi or to my phone's network. Because I could use it as a hotspot or as a Wi-Fi signal for other devices to connect that don't have connectivity. So it's just a gorgeous day. You can see blue skies, no clouds whatsoever. So pretty soon we'll be boarding to take a cruise around the harbor. Maybe focus over there. How's that? There you go. Get a zoom in look. Gonna put down the camera for a bit. Not the other camera. Maybe that's better.
He was going to check. Okay. Without the settings. Even okay. See if get your weather. But we're gonna check. What that's going to do wrong and let it tempo. But it's gonna work well. It'll work well. Maybe. says what's very important about the passengers. There you go. You can read it. We too are going to go pretty soon to be able to do that later. The boy that was kidnapped, he was getting treatment. Like the military was taking. Yes. So,
Yeah, I should be leaving soon in a few minutes or so. Let me see. Hold on. Let me check my ticket. So yeah, so boarding time should be at 2:30 and leave at 2:45. So yeah. Yeah, so they should start boarding in a few minutes. Right at 2:26. Our time right here, about local time. Oh, really? That's awesome. So when are you planning to go to Vienna? Oh, well, I capture that. Oh, I see. Yeah, exploring by foot can be very yeah, exhausting, especially with me. Like, I don't know if you knew, like I have a lot of knee surgeries due to injury that I've sustained. So back years ago. So that's why sometimes I have my limitations where I can't really go too much. I can go the distance, but then yeah, in the end they start hurting a lot. Oh, boat's just coming in right now.
Does it get cold on the waters?
The boat, yes,
You get cold? You get cold?
it's cold. I don't know. It could be.
I hope it doesn't get too cold.
As long as you have like a light jacket or something like that. That's all you have. Nothing at all. Oh no. Hopefully it won't. I think you could go inside also or go outside if it gets too cold.
I ask that you take this moment to gather your belongings, maybe throw away.
Yeah, it looks like they don't have any jackets on, so yeah, you should be okay. If it doesn't go too. Yeah, a couple of them have jackets on, others don't have jackets that I see here.
Looking up for.
Yeah, so that's okay. Yeah, that's it's looking good.
Okay, looking good.
All right, so it looks like our boat has arrived, and yeah, we'll be boarding soon. So as soon after the current passengers on it get off board, get off. So yeah, we'll be boarding. So let me get my stuff ready. Just gotta put it down. Oh, too late. Here we go.
Entonces, pues sí.
All right, see people are getting off, so we should be next in a few minutes.
Yeah, que si nos quedamos allá más tiempo para hacer shopping. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, by the root store, right? Oh, yeah, so let's do downtown first. Oh, I have to get that.
It's getting boring just like in one place. So. Oh, let me look at my ticket. Oh, there you go. All right. All righty, let's go.
Enjoy.
Oh, thank you, thank you. All right, we're in. Okay, so we're on the move, and this is our boat we'll be taking today. Getting on board right now. Yeah, no problem. You'll go, sir.
Best view is upstairs. If you go down this hall, stairs are on the right. First floor is good. Third floor is pretty good too.
Okay,
Yeah.
third floor.
Yeah, just down this way.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome aboard.
All right, we're going inside. How you doing? One more. All right, we made it up to the second floor. Nice. Let's go around the ship. A boat. Careful where you step here. Let's go around. Where's stairs? One more set. Planking. Alrighty. Alright. Wow. That's nice.
Yeah.
Look at this bad boy of a yacht here.
All right. You all right?
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain. I'd like to welcome all of you on board the Constitution. And in about 60 minutes, I'll be pulling out from here
Oh, cool.
and go on a
We'll be leaving in about 6 minutes. Leaving in about 6 minutes.
circle in the port of Vancouver, pass by marinas, and then seaplane port, and then conference center and Canada Place, and the cruise ships,
Wow.
then container ships. Then across north, you'll be passing by big dry docks where they're building ships. And then from there, I head west toward the sea bus terminal, and you're gonna see them in operation coming in and out. And from there, we go to a spot that sometimes we go and we find harbor seals laying, enjoying the beautiful sunny day. Temperature today is in lower 20s Celsius, and the wind is coming from the west, light wind. Your tour is for 1 hour. Please be seated most of the time if you can, for your own safety. So in case if we are moving and we encounter any movement or rolling because of the traffic, then you're not
See the captain inside the little boat.
Thank you, and
doing
enjoy
this.
your tour.
So we're on board the Constitution. See our captain right there. Yes, it is. It's a city inside the province which of British Columbia. So British Columbia is the province and Vancouver is the city. Yeah, I'm ready for the tours to commence. Let's get this ship going. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. I'm glad it's not raining or there's any other inclement weather.
Good afternoon, everyone.
All
I
right.
hope you're having a lovely
I think we're getting
day
ready
today.
to go.
I just wanted to let you know about our washrooms. Our washrooms are down here on A deck. We've got the women's washroom on the right side and the men's washroom on the left side. Also down here on A deck, we have our bar and concession where you can buy a variety of hot and cold beverages as well as some snacks. We do also have beer and wine available if that's something you're looking for. We have our draft beer today, which is an amber ale from the local brewery, Red Truck. Also, just so you know, the entire ship is licensed, so if you are interested in grabbing yourself an alcoholic beverage, you can come down, come say hi, and then go back upstairs and enjoy the rest of the cruise. I do also want to let everybody know that our C deck speakers, the speakers just outside there, have been kind of going on and off for the past few days, and we're trying our best to try to get it fixed. But if it does go off during the cruise,
I'm always ready. I don't know about for arena cruise.
just so you know, the
I'm ready
B-deck
just for the
and
cruise
A-deck
itself to
speakers
begin.
on the inside
Arena
will be
cruise.
working. So if you would like to listen to the rest of the narration, you just have to make your
Let's
way
get going.
inside. Otherwise, enjoy the beautiful view and the beautiful weather today.
JB, when you plan to go to Vienna, do you plan to stream at all? I've started to think about that. Huh? Yeah, that'll be good if you can. Yeah. Take a look at that ship, that plane up there. Like with me, if I plan to like keep on streaming, I'll probably either need to like get a better connection in order to get my GoPro to get going, or either buy a second phone. That's what most streamers do. They have a second phone. or those dedicated backpacks for the stream. But those can be pretty pricey.
Scott, you're standing there and didn't touch anything. You're cool like this race. Where does it go?
I imagine it was because they were fixing plumbing and they just had to do something, but just what the stove was off and burned.
Just look around. Got tired of the same old view. Alrighty, have a good night, Bounty. Until next time, hopefully. Sleep well. Unfortunately, yeah, my stream got to like start late, and plus also the 3-hour difference now. So now I'm Pacific time instead of Eastern time. Bye. Have a good night, Bounty.
Saving it. We're going from here to the restaurant. Got it? Do you want a bite to eat? I got a cracker.
I think for tomorrow's stream, I think I'm planning of leaving early or doing early since I have a car, rented a car. So pretty much we could do whatever we want. So it'll be easier to leave early because of the 3-hour difference, or now that we're on Pacific time. So it's much more difficult for Europe time. So it could be anywhere from 8 hours to 10-hour difference, or even more.
That's what I can tell.
Yeah, we still haven't left yet. You can see it's already past, what time is it? Oh yeah. Can't get there. Yeah. It's already past 2:45. Yeah, time for a new angle. Got tired of the same old view. Sorry about that. Look at that. There we go. go get a beer while we wait. Yeah, might as well. Oh, by the way, I have some beers waiting for me at the hotel room. So yeah, I found this little liquor store near my hotel. Yeah, we are moving.
Make some noise.
Oh. All right, it's official. We're moving. Oops, sorry about that. The heavy cane.
One of those myself.
I'm sorry?
I've got one of those
Oh,
myself.
but that is heavy as mine. Yeah, mine is one of those very still. Has a couple of purposes there. Either for self-defense, just in case. Yeah. All right, we're finally moving. All right, we're on the move now. Yeah, westerns is like genre. It's like a forgotten genre. They're so awesome. You know, like back in the 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, there were a bunch of them being made. And then some of them were made by Italian productions, so that's why they're called spaghetti westerns. Okay.
Day. My name's Luke, and I'm going to be your tour guide today. I'd like to introduce you to the rest of the crew. Up in the wheelhouse, we have Captain Aladdin with our first mate, Gordy. Helping down at concession, we have Yamato and Yanis. And on behalf of Harbor Cruises, we'd like to welcome you aboard the motor paddle vessel, Constitution. Before we begin our tour of the spectacular Burrard Inlet, I'd like to have your attention for a few safety announcements. Life jackets are located on the perimeter bench seating on both A deck, the deck you boarded on, and C deck, the uppermost deck of the vessel. Also on C deck, you'll find our life rafts. In the unlikely case of an emergency, we ask that you please follow the direction of the captain and crew, who are fully trained in marine emergency procedures. Smoking is not permitted in the interior space of the ship and can be only permitted on our uppermost deck, unless at least 6 meters away from the doors. Please feel free to visit the outside decks, but be advised that the ship horn is quite loud and it may sound during the cruise. Please be careful when moving about the ship. Use handrails when going up and down the stairs, and mind the sill at the base of doorways. Please do not run on the decks or climb on any of the railings, and parents, please keep small children in view at all times. And for safety reasons, children are not permitted on the outside decks without adult supervision. Now, I do want to just do another reminder. If you are seated up on C deck there, the speaker there may be going in and out, unfortunately. We are trying our best to try to fix this. However, if you are wanting to listen to the rest of the narration, if it does go out, the inside decks here on both B deck and A deck will have the narration working. However, if you do not wish to, then I do invite you to just enjoy the view of the Burrard Inlet here. Also, another reminder that our washrooms are located on A deck here, the deck you boarded on. Also on A deck, we have our bar and concession with a variety of hot and cold beverages, as well as a few snacks. We do also have a selection of cold beer and wine available, and our draft beer is an amber ale from the local brewery, Red Truck. Our entire ship is licensed, so if you'd like to come downstairs, say hi, grab yourself an alcoholic beverage, and head back upstairs, you are definitely welcome to do so. We do accept debit, credit, and cash. If you have any other questions or require any assistance during the cruise, please don't hesitate to ask any of the onboard service staff, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much, and let us begin. This beautiful sternwheeler was built for harbor cruises at Allied Shipyards in North Vancouver, and it was launched in July of 1983. You're aboard Vancouver's only authentic paddle wheeler. The paddle wheel at the stern of our ship is our only means of propulsion as we cruise around the harbor at a comfortable speed of 5 knots or about 10 kilometers per hour. The vessel was modeled after early British Columbian paddle wheelers and is named after the Canadian Constitution Act of 1982, which gave Canada full and final independence from the United Kingdom. Some fun facts about Vancouver. The city of Vancouver is in a temperate rainforest. It's 136 years old and was incorporated April 6, 1886. However, records do show the presence of indigenous people in this region as far back as 8,000 to 10,000 years ago. Vancouver and the surrounding areas were largely occupied by the Coast Salish people, a large set of indigenous tribes and bands with ethnic relations who share common languages. In 1791, Europeans discovered this part of the world while searching for an entrance to the so-called Northwest Passage.
Especially here in downtown.
The Spanish were the first to arrive, but it was the British captain George Vancouver who made it into the inner harbor the following year. He named this place the Burrard Channel after his Navy friend, Sir Harry Burrard. In 1858, the Fraser River Gold Rush brought around 30,000 American prospectors into the province, and fearing a takeover, the British established the colony of British Columbia. Off to our right-hand side, I'm sure you've noticed all those float planes docked. Well, all of these planes actually belong to Harbour Air, the world's largest seaplane airline. All of these planes connect downtown Vancouver to islands and communities along the coast, including British Columbia's capital city of Victoria. While it can take up to 4 hours to travel to Victoria by car and ferry, one can expect to commute by a seaplane in under 30 minutes. While float planes also offer flight scene tours, which are ideal for getting a new perspective on the surrounding mountains
Take
and
a plane to
glaciers.
Victoria Island.
Right
Or Vancouver
behind
Island,
Harbour
to
Air,
Victoria.
we have a building with a grassy roof. Now this is the expansion of the Vancouver
All right, Jamie, have a good night. We'll hopefully catch you tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow I plan to do an earlier stream since I rented a car, so pretty much I can go anywhere I want. But yeah, I really do want to do an earlier stream because of the time difference now that it's over here. It's 3 o'clock, so it's much later for night for everybody else.
center during the 2010 Winter Olympic Games, and you can now see the Olympic cauldron at the back of the lower plaza. Right next to the red umbrellas
Jamie,
there,
good
we
night.
have an orca
Catch you next
sculpture
time.
that's all pixelated.
Thank you
and
for
that is
joining,
known as digital
joining me
orca, that is done
and
by
everybody
the
else.
local author and artist Douglas Copeland. Also in the left corner of the building here, we have a sculpture that is a blue raindrop, and this was designed to symbolize the importance of water to human life, but it's also a joke to the amount of rainfall we get here in Vancouver. Off to our right, we are now sailing past Canada Place, which is locally known as the Five Sails, hence those pointy roofs. This is the original Vancouver Convention Center and is also home to the 4-star Pan Pacific Hotel, Port of Vancouver, and the World Trade Center. It also serves as our main cruise ship terminal, and it looks like we've got 3 cruise ships docked here today. Vancouver is the leading home port to Alaska and the only gateway through Canada's Inside Passage. Canada Place was built in 1985 on the historic Canadian Pacific Railway Pier. Canadian Pacific Railway Empress ships departed from these docks in the early 1900s, carrying passengers and cargo to and from India, China, and Japan. This was also the site for the Canada Pavilion during Expo 86, the World Exposition that was held here during the city's centennial year. right-hand side along the shore there, what's slowly coming into view is all those older-looking buildings. Well, that is Vancouver's oldest neighborhood, called Gastown. Now, the story about Gastown is actually quite a fun one, as it starts off with a sawmill owner whose name was Edward Stamp, who one day asked his friend Jack Dayton if he'd be interested in opening a bar near his sawmill, as it'd be the only tavern for the next 40 kilometers. Jack Dayton then struck a deal with the off-duty sawmill workers. If they were able to build him a bar, they could have all the whiskey they could drink in a single sitting. Well, they were highly motivated by this, as they were able to build him a bar in less than 12 hours. Jack Dayton's tavern was a huge success, and a town formed around him as he told customers about his adventures as a ship captain. He was then nicknamed Gassy Jack for his notorious storytelling, hence the name Gastown. Once the town site around him was made official, he had to leave. This is because he had no claim to the land where his bar sat. The area was officially renamed Granville, though many didn't want to call it that, and the name Gastown just stuck. Jack then re-established himself at the corner of Carroll and Powell Street. Also jetting out from the Gastown shoreline there, I'm sure you've noticed all those helicopters. Well, this is the first floating helipad in Canada. The Burrard Inlet experiences an extensive amount of helicopter activity and is home to an air ambulance, private helicopters, and HeliJet, a chartering service. Off to our right as well, we can see a sea bus with the yellow stripe and the white topping. The Vancouver Sea Buses have actually been operating since 1977 as a commuter ferry service between downtown Vancouver and the North Shore. Crossing the inlet in just 12 minutes, this system includes 4 catamarans, which can carry up to 385 passengers each. Off to our right-hand side, there's this area with all the shipping containers. Well, this is Centerm, which is short for Centennial Terminals. This was actually once the site of Edward Stamp's mill. Edward Stamp was an English mariner and entrepreneur, and in 1865 he formed the British Columbia and Vancouver Island Spar, Lumber, and Sawmill Company. He obtained logging rights to the Burrard Inlet and received $100,000 in investment from the British government. He first tried to establish a mill at Brockton Point in Stanley Park, but the rough currents and a nearby reef thwarted these efforts. Due to a number of difficulties, Stamp left the company less than 2 years later, and the site became the Hastings Mill. It was effectively a company town containing a school and the Hastings Mill store. The mill was vital to Vancouver's economy until its closure in the 1920s. Now, Centerm here is operated by DP World, one of the world's largest marine terminal operators. It handles container, bulk, and other terminal cargo. The giant orange structures that you see here, well, they are powerful gantry cranes that are used to load and unload shipping containers, which can each weigh upwards to 30 tons. Over 3,100 ships move through. once here called Moodyville. Moodyville is predating Gastown, and it sprung up in response to the inlet's very first successful sawmill. Opened in 1865 by the American logger Sewell Prescott Moody, the mill gained a reputation for producing the best lumber on the West Coast and shipped cargo to Mexico, China, Peru, and Hawaii. Moody ran his mill with a firm hand, however. There was no alcohol allowed on his side of the inlet, so people would often row from Moodyville all the way to Gassy Jack Saloon on the South Shore just so they could get a drink at the end of the workday. Moody oversaw the region's first school, the first telegraph line west of New Westminster, and the first electric lighting anywhere north of San Francisco in 1882. Tragically, at the age of 41, Moody drowned in a shipwreck off the Washington coast, and by the turn of the century, Moodyville was a ghost town. The town eventually joined the city of North Vancouver in 1915. Side as we are slowly turning left, there are some docks in front of us that have yellow walls and blue walls. The one with the blue walls says it's the Seaspan Careen. Well, this is the Vancouver Dry Dock. The Vancouver Dry Dock is the largest floating shipyard on Canada's west coast. Since 1902, Vancouver shipyards have done construction and repair services on all kinds of marine vessels. Getting a boat into a dry dock begins with keel blocks that are arranged on the floor to form a cradle for the ship's hull. The entire structure is then submerged so that the boat can be towed within and positioned over the keel blocks. Those big walls there, they're actually filled with water, and the water is then pumped out and the floating dock rises, bringing the ship up with it. The larger dock there with the yellow walls can lift up to 36,000 tons, and it can handle a ship up to 180 meters long and 45 meters wide. It can work on a number of vessels, most commonly cruise ships, tankers, and barges. Also off to our right-hand side, we are now having envisioned a yellow crane that has the initials BDD. Well, this is the Burrard Dry Dock. Incorporated in 1905 as Wallace Shipyards, this shipbuilding company built over 450 ships, and during World War I, built the first deep-sea steel-hulled ships in Canada. In 1928, the Burrard Dry Dock built the St. Roch, which was built for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police to patrol the Arctic. The St. Roch was the first ship to travel the Northwest Passage from west to east, and the first ship to circumnavigate North America. St. Roch now sits in the Vancouver Maritime Museum and can be boarded by visitors. During World War II, Burrard Dry Dock became the busiest Canadian shipyard, building over hundreds of ships and employing 14,000 workers. Right beside the Burrard Dry Dock is Shipbuilders Square. During the summer, it hosts a concert series and a popular night market, including more than 40 food trucks and local craft beer. Just in behind these beautiful black and white yachts there's a red steel tower with a giant letter Q on top. Well, this is the Lonsdale Quay. The Lonsdale Quay is a popular shopping hub. It has 80 shops and services that are easily accessed from downtown Vancouver by a short trip on the sea bus. Opened in 1986 as a part of a carnival-themed marketplace, it sits on the former site of the North Vancouver Ship Repair, a major shipyard during World War II. Now, if you are curious, quay is spelled Q-U-A-Y, which is a word that means where I can tie my boat. That's why there's a big letter Q there. There is also another quay in the Vancouver region, just in New Westminster, along the Fraser River, which is home to the world's tallest tin soldier. Now, lucky us, we've got a beautiful view of the North Shore Mountains today. And these mountains belong to the Coast Mountain Range, which extends from Vancouver all the way to the Alaskan border. The three closest mountains to the downtown core here from west to east are Cypress, Grouse, and Seymour. All three of these mountains offer skiing, snowboarding, and snowshoeing in the winter, as well as hiking, camping, and biking in the summer. The mountain that is closest to North Vancouver here is Grouse Mountain. Grouse Mountain was named in 1894 after a hunting party caught some blue grouse at its peak. It is the mountain there with the white wind turbine and the light green grassy patch
you can
there.
see it up there.
And when it's snowing,
Right
that grassy patch is a
That's what
ski
he's talking
hill.
about.
Grouse Mountain has been used by Vancouverites for more than a century, and those who choose not to take the gondola up to the mountain summit are often found on the infamous Grouse Grind, which is a steep 2.9 kilometer trail, also known as Nature's Stairmaster. The last time I did the Grouse Grind, I think I did it in about an hour and 4 minutes, but that was about 5 years ago. The official record, however, is held by Sebastian Salas, who did it in 23 minutes and 45 seconds. Off to our right again, we are now sailing past a white and blue vessel with the name Spirit of the Nation. Well, this boat was actually once called Queen of the Islands, and it was a BC Ferries vessel that ran between Tawasin and Salt Spring Island. It was built at the Burrard Dry Dock in 1962, and it was hated by crew and passengers alike. It was difficult to load, and it operated poorly even in calm weather. It actually suffered a mechanical failure on its maiden voyage, and it needed to be towed into port. It was sold in 1991 to a fishing lodge and is now owned by a private businessman who renamed the vessel Spirit of the Nation. It is permanently moored here, and it is used as an event and wedding venue. Right next to it is an olive green ship with the numbers 151 on it. notice the beautiful blue bridge there? Well, that is the Lionsgate Bridge. In the 1890s, it was considered necessary to build a bridge from Stanley Park to the North Shore in order to encourage development on the northern side of the Burrard Inlet. Alfred Taylor, who owned the rights to the bridge's construction, solicited the Guinness family, that's right, descendants of the Irish beer maker Sir Arthur Guinness, for help, as he did not have the finances required. He convinced them to aid through a syndicate called the British Pacific Properties, and, as a part of the arrangement, they purchased 4,700 acres of land on the northern side of the inlet, as the bridge's construction was going to cause the land value to skyrocket. Plans for the bridge were a significant controversy, however. A laneway would divide the beloved Stanley Park into two. A plebiscite in 1933 allowed for the bridge's construction, with the promise that it be built largely by people left unemployed by the Great Depression. The bridge cost $5.8 million to construct, and when it was opened by King George VI and Queen Elizabeth on November 14, 1938, it was the longest suspension bridge in the British Empire. The bridge has a main span of 473 meters, stands 111 meters tall, and has a ship's clearance of 61 meters. The bridge sees 60,000 to 70,000 vehicles every day, and in 2005, it was designated as a National Historic Site of Canada. Also off to our right-hand side, there is a cute white lighthouse with a red stripe and some black arches underneath. And that is the Brockton Point Lighthouse. It was commissioned in 1890 to aid the navigation of ships in the Burrard Inlet. It was named after Sir Francis Brockton, who discovered the first vein of coal in Coal Harbor. The current structure we see here dates from 1915, and the black arch at the bottom was intended to be part of a boathouse, but the plan was scrapped due to the rough currents at this point. Right next to the Brockton Lighthouse is the Vancouver seawall, and the seawall is a stone perimeter originally designed to protect Stanley Park's shoreline from erosion. Much of this construction was done under the watchful eye of James Cunningham. James Cunningham became Vancouver's master stone mason in 1931 and quickly grew fond of the project. He retired officially in 1955 at 77 years old, but continued to work on the seawall until his death in 1963. He was known to work tirelessly while in sickness and in health, and even in one occasion was spotted working in his pajamas. His ashes are scattered in an unmarked spot near Siwash Rock inside the seawall. During the Great Depression, the seawall served as a workfare project for 2,300 unemployed men, as well as a punishment detail for insubordinate mariners. Today, the seawall is a 22-kilometer recreational path that begins here in Coal Harbor, extends beyond Stanley Park into False Creek, and ends in Kitsilano.